May I come in, sir?
Yes, please do.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
So, you're Mr. Harsh.
Yes, sir.
Harsh, will English be your preferred medium?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Harsh, you must have noticed that we are taking adequate care when it comes to COVID, and
Yes,
we have
sir.
taken several steps.
Yes, sir.
One of the steps we have taken is that we have kept your chair at a safe distance.
Yes,
so
sir.
you are basically at a safe distance from anybody in this room,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Another advantage of this arrangement is that if you feel like, then you can consider removing your mask, because that will make you feel more relaxed, and you'll be more you'll be feeling safe in any case because you're at a safe distance, and also this fogging issue on
Yes,
the
sir.
glasses
Absolutely.
when you wear mask. So would like to remove that?
Yes, sir.
Please do.
Thank you, sir.
Comfortable?
Yes, sir. Much better.
Fine, Harsh. Then let us start. Tell us something about you.
Sir, my name is Harsh, which means delight in Hindi. I'm from a small town called Katihar in Bihar. My father is a professor of Hindi literature. I did my schooling from my hometown, where I also did my +2. Then I did my graduation from IIT Kharagpur, doing a major in electronics and electrical communication engineering. I am presently working full-time as a data scientist in Zivanta Analytics. Before this, I've also worked for 2 years at an MNC, also as a data scientist.
So you're basically into data,
Yes, sir.
and you're not happy being there.
No, sir, I'm happy there. But I feel there are many advantages, many new challenges that I'll face if I join civil services.
There are many people to meet these challenges. It's not really a very some kind of an emergent situation. We can manage without you. But
Yes,
tell
sir.
me, why do you believe that you need to be here?
Sir, I feel by joining civil services, I will be able to get a better perspective of everything, because they work in a very wide zone of different things. Working in a corporate, especially as a data scientist, has a very narrow perspective of work uh, about the things that are going around me. Also, my first preference is foreign services, where I feel that to represent India into the international forum will be a great opportunity for me, a great honor for me.
You're basically a data scientist, and you know that data can be sourced from multiple sources. It can be
Yes.
crowdsourced. It can be sourced from many places. Despite that, if we look at the COVID-19 data quality, it appears that data scientists and freelance data person, not only government, but even these people fail to come to give to the public the authentic and trustworthy data when it comes to number of cases, number of deaths, number of other problems. Why you believe that this entire data ecosystem failed? Government, obviously, why government did not provide data there, we can understand. It's not difficult to understand. But why others failed?
So the present data collection ecosystem that we have, which is rooted from the very grassroots level, from district hospitals and small areas from which the data points are collected. Now, if there is the data that is collected from there itself has fault in it, when it is aggregated on a national level, these problems tend to magnify many times. And this is why we have seen that the numbers are often changed or increased by a large margin when it comes to number of deaths or actual number of cases reported. However, this problem is not limited to India alone. Even when USA was facing the number of cases at its peak during September and December last year, similar problems were faced there as well. And they have invested a huge amount of money in collecting data from their very grassroots levels.
And we rather invested money and resources in concealing data at many time rather than actually excavating it, isn't it?
Sir, we have invested data in the amount of the investments in collecting the data, but it is human nature. The person who's feeding the data, if he feels compelled to not give out the true picture, then there is very limited amount of things that the instruments that are put in place can be done. However, there are other sources like the way that these data fudges have been recognized is using the civil registration system, which captures the number of deaths that are captured rather than the number which is declared as COVID-only deaths.
Another casualty in the COVID-19 is our census. The census that should have been completed by now is yet to begin,
Yes,
right? You're a sociology student.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, why the government, on the part of government and other structures, there is a hesitancy when it comes to collecting for example, the caste-based data, caste census. Last caste census data is still not in public. So, and we still do not know whether in the current census will be counting caste or not. So, why there is this hesitancy?
Sir, as per my understanding, the caste census are conducted differently as SECC, which is Socioeconomic Caste Census. The census that are organized, that 10-year census, which was supposed to happen in 2021. Now, one problem in conducting census at the ground level is people to whom the people who are conducting census reach out, they tend to fear that there might be other causes. And there have been examples where these people turned on the people who came to collect other information, feeling that they will either be collecting information on who got vaccinated or not got vaccinated. So there is fear in the people who will be collecting data at one level. And second, government resources are immensely occupied in doing other things, such as providing the healthcare facilities and reaching out to do vaccination. The same people who would otherwise be conducting census, such as the primary level teachers, they are also involved in doing these activities. So there is resource crunch.
But that was not the case in 2011. But we are still without a reliable caste demographic data of the society.
Yes, sir. Sir, from a sociological perspective, caste census is very different from other census that are organized. One fear is the conducting of caste census will lead to a solidification of caste hierarchy. People are wary of giving out their caste specifics. Now, this problem is not specific to the census that would have been organized in 2021. This was seen in 2011 as well, when people were not willing to come out and paint a true picture of where they land in the caste hierarchy. And this problem is understandable because a few sociologists even have said that castes are only localized in their outlook. While there is a Chaturvarna system that permeates all India, but the local regional hierarchies are very different from the ideational hierarchies that exist.
Anyways, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Harsh, you are a runner. You have
Yes, sir.
run many marathon.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what is the length of marathon?
Sir, a full marathon is 42.195 kilometers.
And mini marathon?
A half marathon is 21 kilometers.
You have mentioned mini marathon. What is
Yes,
the
sir.
difference between half marathon and mini marathon?
Sir, a half marathon is 21 kilometers. Mini marathon is any which is 10 kilometers or less.
Okay. Who is holding the national record of marathon race in India?
In India? Sir, he's a person from army. The present record that he has set is 2 hours 17 minutes, but I cannot recall his name right now. I think it is Nripinder Singh Rawat. But
2 hours 17 minutes. No,
Yes,
it's
sir.
better record is there 2 hours 12 minutes and some seconds, 15 seconds. It's a very old record.
in India.
In India, national record. And the person comes from Bihar only.
Yes, sir. Ram Singh, I think you're referring to Ram Singh. And he used to run in 1980s.
No, not Ram Singh. He's a different person.
Sir, maybe I'm not aware then.
Okay, Shivnath Singh.
Shivnath Singh.
Okay. You are living in Calcutta.
Sir,
Not-
I've lived in Kharagpur, which is very close to Calcutta. Yes.
Nowadays working in Kolkata. No?
No, sir. I'm presently working in Gurgaon.
Okay.
The main head office of my office is in Kolkata, but a small team sets out of Gurgaon from where I work.
Okay. So, if we look at different cities of India, there is a race going on among cities. And in that race, Kolkata is lagging behind Delhi and Bengaluru and Mumbai. Why the growth rate of Kolkata has slowed down in last almost a century?
So there are a number of factors because of which this happened. Firstly, I feel that Kolkata was the very first city that urbanized, in the real sense of the term urbanized, because the Britishers established that as their first presidency town. And as a result, some of the structures that exist there even today are quite outdated in their outlook, which has not been updated. Delhi Metro, in comparison, started much late, but was able to modernize much faster because it had the latest technology available to upgrade it.
Which phase, by the way, of urbanization India is passing through nowadays?
Urbanization in terms of demographic transition, or
No, which phase means, is it the first urbanization India is experiencing, or it is second wave of urbanization, or third or fourth or fifth? There are different phases of waves of urbanization India has seen.
sir, I do not have the exact knowledge, but if I would imagine this to be a third wave, but I cannot be sure. Third is based on my understanding of the waves of urbanization that would have
So
occurred in India.
if let's assume it to be true, if it is third, guess when was the first wave of urbanization?
Sir, I would think this would have happened during the Mughal period itself, because a lot of small towns, not in the present definition of the term urban, but urban in the definition of the agglomerative economy, which would mean ki how many people are there living in.
You come from Katihar. Do you see towns in that area in ancient times?
Sir, very close to Katihar is Bhagalpur, and that used to be a town even since the Mahajanpada's time. The Anga
That means
dynasty
there
used
was
to
some
exist.
urbanization even before Mughal period.
Yes, sir. But I have not considered that to be, because the information that would be present will not be reliable on how the economy would have been structured. And an urban economy has to be rooted in the service sector or manufacturing sector, and we would not have that information. So this is only an estimation on.
Do you see the
could have been.
present program of smart city development of Government of India is a successful program?
Sir, it has made a lot of progress, but I feel that there are many areas in which the ground root,
Which is the first
involves-
smart city of India?
Sir, I do not know which was the first one. I know the ones that are in Bihar, but the first one in Bihar, but I do not know for all over India.
Which city of Bihar has become smart now?
So there were four. The first one was Bhagalpur.
Has it become smart?
Not sir the smartest, but there has been a lot of improvement and investment in infrastructure since it was included in the Smart Cities program.
So, which are the infrastructure projects taken under a smart city project?
Sir, Wi-Fi zones have been established in the bus stand area as well as the railway area. Connectivity programs have improved a lot. There is a lot of construction of national highways and state highways.
What are the safety concerns in these public Wi-Fi zones?
Sir, public Wi-Fi zones allow a very large number of people to connect to a single router or a few number of routers. And this may result in one person hacking the other people who are connected to the same public Wi-Fi. This is one. The second one is the data that will be going through the routers, these routers, can be easily monitored by a public authority. While this might be good, but that also might lead to invasion on the privacy of the people.
Can it be used as an instrument of data colonialism?
Data colonialism? So data colonialism would happen if these people would be forced to connect to these public Wi-Fi. So I do not think public data colonialism will come into this picture.
Okay, thank you, Harsh.
Thank you, sir.
Harsh,
Yes, ma'am.
can you tell me what is the Mead's concept of self and identity?
Yes, ma'am. Mead gave this idea of self and society to connect how in different stages our personality develops. He gave the idea of two different stages, the game stage as well as the play stage. In the first stage, which is the play stage, our personality develops according to our limited surroundings, limited players, which would include our parents, our close friends. But it is in the second stage, where the game stage, where our personality really develops and we interact with people that we have not yet met or seen before. And in this stage, the true part of I and me come into picture.
Okay. Your home state is Bihar.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you tell me 3 strengths and 3 weaknesses of Bihar as a state? Something which is related to ground realities. Nothing, no jargon.
Yes, ma'am. I'll focus on strengths first because I would like to see the positive things first. The biggest thing I see is Bihar has made a lot of progress on education sector. There is a scheme going on for girl children which gives them 54,000 rupees from their birth till till they graduate out of their colleges. And I've seen my maid's daughter had even benefited from this program, and one reason why she sent her to the college in the first place. So this is a very positive development. The second is the Bihar has developed into a dry state. Although there are a lot of issues that have been associated, like it has not completely stopped, but that idea has been put in place that domestic violence, all the side effects, all the sociological side effects of liquor should not be accepted. A third thing I see is there has been a lot of improvement in infrastructure. Roads construction have been exquisite, and this has those roads. Even my village has been connected to a state highway now. So these are very positive developments that I see. 3 negative developments. I will say that even though we have made good progress on education, the per student investment remains to be around 9,000 rupees. In Delhi schools, that is around 78,000 rupees per student per year. So this is a huge margin which probably will take a lot of time to cover. And then there are education rackets which are functioning. There was a Ruby Rai case a few years back where the topper was not able to pronounce political science, though she was the state topper in political science. The second problem I see is in law and order, people are very unwilling. Bihar ranks in 29th when it comes to crime, which means it is very low. But on grassroots level, I feel that there is a FIR hesitancy. People are not willing to go to to police to register these cases in the first place. And the third problem I see is more local, which I see even in Katihar or from the village where I belong. There is no waste management. People tend to throw waste either behind their houses or in some public areas, and these are not collected or disposed of properly.
Okay. Tell me, what are the benefits of quantum communication?
Ma'am, quantum communication has been developed as a new paradigm. Quantum means it will be involving qubits, and quantum communication in general will make use of cryptographic techniques where there will be quantum key distribution. Quantum keys will essentially make the cryptographic algorithms that we presently use to encrypt data much more secure.
Which country has used it recently?
Ma'am, I think it is China. I do not recall the name of the satellite that they used to do this.
Okay. So you wish to be IFS officer.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are posted in a country where image of India is still very poor. They still think that Indians are mainly snake charmers and magicians. So you are posted there. What will you do to improve India's image?
And this problem is the first thing I have to consider is why this image still exists, because India has made a lot of progress. We have launched our own space program. We have an indigenously developed nuclear program. We have one of the best armies in the world. So I have to understand why this is happening on the grassroots level. Maybe the people there are out of touch with reality, with which India has made progress. So my first step will be to make people aware of the recent advancements that India has made. This will be number one. Number two will be to spread the Indian culture. The Indian culture is not limited to snake charming. Yoga, our meditation, the Ayurveda, all these aspects of our culture are much more influential and form part of our soft diplomacy rather than only snake charming. And my third step will be to use the local the diasporan community, if there exists a significant diasporan community, to showcase the talent that exists in people of India, which will again be more in IT and nanotechnology and
Okay, Harsh.
technology.
So my last question to you: why your salary has reduced? Because you were working at a very good salary in your earlier company. Now you have dropped it to something around like 60. Why?
Ma'am, earlier I was working in a multinational company. It is one of the world's 4 biggest companies. So they could afford that much. And when I decided to make a transition to a much smaller, and it is an Indian startup, this was the best that they said they can offer me. And I still went ahead and accepted that offer because I wanted to experience the contrast in the work culture of a multinational company vis-a-vis a startup. The main benefits that I envisaged at that time were that I will be working in a much more flat company, which I felt it was, and that it will be much more rapid in adoption of technology, which it was. And I felt that there will be a lot of work to do, which will not be very narrow. In multinational company, my work responsibilities were very narrow and predefined. There's nothing new to do. I knew what will happen.
So you switched just to gain the experience out of that job?
Yes, ma'am. Plus, money was not really a constraining factor for me because even now my needs are very limited, and even with this amount, I was able to very well manage all my expenses.
Thank you, Harsh.
Thank you, ma'am.
Harsh,
Yes, sir.
you have told us that your father is professor,
Yes, sir.
but you have mentioned in your DAF the designation assistant professor.
Yes, sir.
Both are the same, or?
So, professor actually has 3 different hierarchies. The first is when they are inducted as associate professors, then there is assistant professor, then there is professor, and ultimately.
First hierarchy is associate, then assistant, then professor.
Yes, sir.
Are you right?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
So, this is to the best of my knowledge.
Okay. You have just mentioned a word here, maid. What could be the better word for the maid?
Sir, household help, because she helps in household works.
Okay, okay. You are from Bihar, okay, and student of the sociology. You study various aspects of the caste system.
Yes, sir.
Why caste is so much prevalent in Bihar politics? Being a student of sociology, what do you think? What are the basic reasons?
So, caste as a system is very resilient, and in some places, the resilience is even more, where the social mobility is less. And this is happening in Bihar because most of the there is a distinction between caste-based politics versus existence of a caste hierarchy. In Bihar, the caste-based politics started nearly around 1990s, where the other backward classes came to power, and they remained in power from around 1990s to 2005. And the caste system got entrenched more and more because the people who were associated with certain castes tended to gain those advantages, like in reservation or in appointment of those the official posts. So the caste identity became stronger with time because of the caste-based politics, and this is why one reason.
But earlier it was said that with the passage of time, caste consciousness will decrease. But what we are seeing that it has been increased.
Sir, one reason is caste has not increased in the way that it originally existed. Caste has changed its form, and that's why it continues to exist. But the present caste system that exists is not the same caste system that was written in Manu Smriti or used to exist thousands of years back. It has become more associated with class, and it has become more associated due to the reservation system that still exists. The voting pattern of people in elections also tends to be more caste-based. All these factors have led to a strengthening of caste identity. But these factors have not should not be construed as the caste still takes hold of this. Development politics is still coming up.
Okay, leave it. You study about marriages in your sociology.
Yes, sir.
How many types of marriages are there?
So types of marriages based on the existing social systems?
No, earlier.
Earlier. So the two I know are Anulom marriages and Pratilom marriages, but these are only specific to the Indian caste hierarchy of who marries in which caste hierarchy.
Okay, recently government has passed a Social Security Code 2020. Okay, please tell us at least two negative aspects of that particular code.
Sir, one negative aspect is that it has tried to create a social security fund in which investments will be made by all the people who are working. And this will be used to compensate for people who have either lost jobs or are facing financial difficulties. And there is a criticism that these, in a way, the liability has been transferred from the government to those other people who have now to face the higher cost of funding the social security fund. This is one, and the other criticism is that the amount of social security that has been put, it will be deducted from people's own salaries, which will reduce their takeaway income, which always needs to be high.
Thank you, Harsh.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Harsh.
Yes, sir.
Harsh, you come from Bihar,
Yes, sir.
and our neighboring country is Nepal.
Yes, sir.
Number of the people from Indian origin, they live in Nepal also. So recently we have seen the change of the guard in the Nepal political spectrum. Do you think there were some mistakes on the part of the government of India in terms of its foreign policy during the prime ministership of the previous prime minister, Mr. Oli? Those mistakes have resulted in some consequences, which were resulted into the sore relationship between Nepal and India. What were those mistakes that you count?
Sir, initially it started on a very positive note, but a strain came after the Madheshi blockade of 2015, when it was felt that India is trying to intervene into the internal affairs of Nepal by blocking the transport of food and other essential supplies. Besides India, the impact of China on Nepal has also increased. It has built the Friendship Road. It has also increased the amount of devolution that it does for Nepal. And India could not compete with that because of the very deep pockets which China has. A third impact will be the demonetization that happened. Those currencies were not, because both in Nepal, especially in the bordering areas, they tend to accept even Indian currencies. But as soon as demonetization was done, those people who had money there, they were refused to be changed in India. So these factors led to a souring of the bilateral relations, but these are expected to improve a lot.
What is the current status of India-Nepal relationship under the current Prime Minister, Mr. Deuba?
Sir, it is very soon to say how things will evolve, but it is expected that compared to Prime Minister Oli, this will be a much more stable relation because he's a fifth-time Prime Minister.
Right.
And all his previous tenures have been associated with closer India-Nepal ties.
Right. Lithuania is a country which recently has opted out to be the part of 17+1 Cooperation Forum.
Yes, sir.
Why?
So, 17+1 Forum is the Chinese CEEC, which is Central and East European Council, the East European arm of the Belt and Road Initiative. Lithuania is a very small country, and it is very susceptible to the huge amount of infrastructure projects that were being built by China at such a high cost.
Right.
This fear of debt trap, which is to a very large extent justified and also being seen in other countries like Maldives and Sri Lanka, made it wary of continuing in that faction. Besides, the European Union has also increased the amount of investments it is willing to do, as well as the US.
I understand. Harsh, China and Australia, again, they have got locked up their horns related with the issue of coral reef, Great Barrier Reef, coral reef. What is the reason behind? What is the whole issue of this coral reef, which came into between the two countries in UNESCO forum?
Sorry, sir, I do not have enough information
You
on
have
this.
Not a problem. Thomas Jefferson has said that the information is the currency of the democracy.
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
We believe that. United Nations Declaration on the Human Right also it made the same set of the spirit and the. Now we see the dilutions of the information regime here in India with the amendment that took place in the appointment of the CICs related with their salaries and the tenure.
Yes, sir.
How do you see a kind of the move, this is right move as part of the diverse democracy that is concerned?
Sir, India's information regime is very strong. We still rank on global RTI rankings, we still rank 4th. And this is one reason why, one reason behind this is because right to information has now become a fundamental right under Article 19. Now, these RTI amendments which have been introduced will, they have been criticized a lot by RTI activists for taking away the power that RTI had. Especially the Chief Information Commissioner. But I do not feel that was the main, that is a major blockage that RTI regime in India feels. We need to appoint more CICs, we need to employ more SICs and more PIOs at the very grassroots level. Because people are still do not have access to the data that directly impacts them. We also need to strengthen the RTI, the way we collect information at the grassroots level. So these are not the major blockages, although they have been criticized a lot. But I feel that this will, in a short run, be beneficial.
Are you aware of the Whistleblowers Protection Act?
Sorry, sir, can you repeat this?
Are you aware of the Whistleblowers Protection Act?
Yes, sir.
Still, this right to information activists are being, killed. Anyways, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Harsh.
Yes, sir.
Harsh, you mentioned that you like inspirational Hindi poetry.
Yes, sir.
I believe it has to do with your father being professor, assistant professor or associate professor, what you said.
Yes, sir. Assistant professor.
Assistant professor. हिंदी में अगर इसे कहा जाए तो ये प्रेरणार्थक कविताएं बनेंगी.
Yes, sir.
कुछ प्रेरणार्थक क्रियाएं भी होती हैं. Can you tell me what are प्रेरणार्थक क्रियाएं?
प्रेरणार्थक क्रियाएं.
Have you heard of it? Know the basic Hindi grammar? You mentioned Hindi as your mother tongue and you
Yes,
appeared
sir.
for the. Okay. Tell me.
प्रेरणार्थक क्रियाएं.
What are types of verbs in Hindi?
Types of verbs in Hindi.
Yeah.
Sir, I have to brush up on Hindi.
You have to brush up on it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm sure you know the alphabets at least.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me.
A, A, Ras, I, Dirghi, Ras, U, Dirgu, Ri, A, I, O, Au, Anga, Aha, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, Anga, Cha, Cha, Ja, Ja, Kya, Ta, Tha, Da, Dha, Na, Ta, Tha, Da, Dha, Na, Pa, Pha, Ba, Bha, Ma, Ya, Ra, La, Va, Talavisha, Rashvasa, Dirghasha, Ha, Talavisha, Dantisha. So just give me a second. Talavisha, Murdhanyasha, Dantisha, Ha.
Okay. You want to get into the civil services, leaving that corporate thing which you have been working for quite a lot. So I'm sure you must have done the research the way when you were changing your job from Delhi Light to the others, you did quite a lot research, right?
Yes, sir.
So you must have studied civil services and their career prospects in the same way as you did when you were changing that corporate job,
Yes,
right? Who is the Cabinet Secretary of India?
Presently, it is Shri Rajiv Gauba.
And who's the senior most IPS officer in the country right now?
Sir, that I do not know.
Name 5 women IAS officers in the last 70 years of history who have done well when they were through that district thing. I mean, during the policy making thing. 5 women IAS officers
I just have to name 5 women IAS officers
Who have
or
contributed-
retired IAS officers.
who have contributed well to Indian nation in last 70 years.
Sir, I'll first name Shrimati Durga Shakti Nagpal.
I said who have gone through their district postings. The senior IAS officer in simple words.
Sir, I will not be able to name them.
Not even one in 70 years.
Sir, I can name a few foreign service officers because that's where I did most of my research, but not for IAS officers.
When we look at the foreign service cadres in IFS cadres in India, we realize that very rarely people from SC, ST, OBCs, I mean the marginalized section people in the IFS cadre are given the mission head position, ambassador position. They are there as per the reservation percentage, but they are not leading the whole file. Can you tell me, do you believe that there is a glass ceiling when it comes to marginalized sections in foreign services?
Sir, I think to an extent glass ceiling exists in all, not only civil services, but even private sector services. There are very few global CEOs who belong to the SC/ST section. So this is a part of the larger trend that has been observed.
That absorbs the foreign service because it's everywhere. It will be in the civil services also. The
Sir, what I
fact that they are ignored in private sector actually makes a case stronger that it should be represented in the government sector rather than that being a justification.
So this is very true. This is completely true. What I meant to say was in private sector, there is no reservation policy. But
So it is understandable why glass ceiling is there.
Yes, sir.
I am
And in
asking about the foreign services.
When it comes to foreign services, there are a number of things that are taken into account before somebody is elevated to the very high levels of as an ambassador. This could be one reason why the soft skills, the so-called soft skills which are required, because people from SC and ST, they come from a very a background which does not involve inculcating their soft skills. This may be could be one reason why they are not usually elevated to the top levels. And I accept that there is a glass ceiling, and I feel that a lot has been done to eradicate this in Indian scenario, but it still persists.
Fine. Fine, Harsh. It was nice talking to you. Your interview is
sir.
over. You can go now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
You plan to wear the same suit?
Yes, sir. I was thinking.
Right here? You have any other option available?
Yes, sir. I have 3 options available. One is navy blue, one is even lighter gray, and the third one is dark gray.
Okay. I mean, I don't have any problem with the color as such, but I believe its fitting is not the perfect for you. I mean, you decide about it. Obviously, it's going to be your call. So right now, it appears as if you're not at ease in this suit. So,
Sir, this suit was actually not custom made. It was just bought online, so I'll get it
I mean,
fitted.
you take a call. I mean, just wanted to point out that it appears as if you're not at the most comfortable in this, and you're looking a little fatter in this for whatever reason, right?
Yes, sir.
Though you're not, but you're looking a little fatter. But anyway, Harsh, tell me, how was it? What are the areas you did fine and where you believe that you can probably do a bit better?
Sir, I should prepare a little more on Hindi. That question on Prernaarthak Kriyaएं completely stumped me over. On questions from Bihar, I felt that I did quite well. But on caste politics of Bihar, especially with respect to Bihar, I should have done a little more research. I did not have any information to back things. So luckily there was no cross questioning. Otherwise I would have, the limitation of my knowledge would have become exposed. Also on smart cities, I can do a little more research. Smart cities, I know the number of smart cities in Bihar, but not why they are being smart city, what has been done. So I need more information there. Otherwise, I feel that I did well on other questions.
See, Harsh, you're definitely a good candidate. You have nice background. You studied from IIT and you have some corporate background, corporate experience also. So that will be in your favor. It appears that you're a person who is not really, who's not that frustrated, unemployed kind of a person, which many candidates are. So that it reflects well on your personality. The confidence is definitely good. Sometimes it borders the other extreme actually. I mean, there are a few places where you can probably be a little bit more polite, especially if you're addressing board members. For example, if you're asking for clarification on the questions, you straight away shoot the clarification rather than having any prefix, suffix, may I know, sir, I would like to, nothing. You just say, in terms of like, in India, it's a clarification you're asking.
Yes, sir.
You're getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So look at the video carefully where I'm pointing out. It happened multiple times. So I'll request you to be a little more polite when you're addressing board members there, especially if you're seeking clarification on the questions or limitations of the question or whatever, right?
Yes,
That
sir.
will be a prudent thing to do. Otherwise, good candidate, usually good. Your entry is good, sitting posture is good. Voice level is good. You have to work on your hand movement and hand placement thing. There is this hand clasping thing as it is right now. You can avoid it by placing your hands like this, because hand clasping always suggests that if the candidate is nervous, right? So having a placement like this will be better, and little less hand movement. You do realize that there is hand movement.
Yes, sir. I felt that during speaking, I got my
so-
hand moving.
So hand movement is
Sir, I
just-
tried this. This posture I tried in my very first interview, but it was very uncomfortable for me. I was
if
neither
it is,
able to
if it is
think.
very stiff, that is the case.
Yes,
What
sir.
is happening is that during the COVID time, they actually ask you to sit a little away, which makes your whole body visible. Otherwise, this was used to be our strategy to candidates who have this vigorous hand movement tendencies. We used to say, okay, tie your hands, you will not be moving it. But that won't work this time. That may not work this time. So you have to take a call on that. So
Sir, I decided on this. Will it be better if I place my hands like this?
that is also okay. That is also
The
okay.
clasp does not appear in
That
front,
is
but
that is
I.
also okay. Idea is that it shouldn't appear that you're very nervous. That's my concern, right? Other things in general are good. You have this tendency of sometimes sticking to wrong facts for a little longer, right? My advice will be gaze whether the board member is if the board member is insisting, maybe once or twice, just take a seat back, right?
Okay, sir.
It can be, for example, when you were giving that hierarchy of teachers in the university, you were wrong, not wrong, you were blatantly wrong, but then you insisted for a while, though later you said, okay, I'll go and check, right?
Yes, sir.
So it is obviously, it cannot be associate assistant, it had to be assistant associate and then professor. It's basics, right? So
Yes,
idea
sir.
is that since it concerns your father, then it appears that no, it becomes blunder. Otherwise,
sir.
it's okay. You need not know the entire hierarchy of the entire bureaucracy. But here it appears that since it concerns your father, you should have been knowing of it. Doesn't matter to know, but you shouldn't be insisting, right?
Sir, I knew about this, but I got confused. I felt
It is very much possible. बहुत आसपास के वो हैं posts, right? Otherwise, good. Analysis is good. Other things generally good. Similar thing happened when you said that the OBC rule ended in 2005-6. I don't understand the statement in itself. In fact, board members stopped questioning you on the caste of UP because they knew that you are not informed at all. Why? What happened in 2006?
So the government changed and
From Lalu to
Nitish Kumar.
and both are OBCs. Then
Sir, but the focus of
but the discussion
politics
was that you
shifted
said
from.
the OBC rule ended in 2005-6. I don't understand why. What does this statement means? You getting
Yes,
my
sir.
point?
Yes, sir.
So there'll be a problem. So my advice will be a little bit more careful.
Yes, sir.
Also because you have sociology as in a sense you have understanding of those things, right?
Yes, sir.
Other things, happy, very happy.
Thank you, sir.
Generally, I'm sure that you'll be doing very, very good, right?
Thank you, sir.
These are the summary suggestion. If there's anything you can ask, otherwise, all the best.
Yes, sir. Sir, when I was mentioning about the OBC rule, what I meant, I should have rephrased it much better. I should have said that the focus of politics shifted from caste to
Normally, the
development
identity
politics.
politics word is used, and which is a fairly neutral word, and it's not really that political. It is academic word, so you can probably use that.
Yes, sir. And sir, during the last part of questioning where you sort of held me on the SC/ST promotions, sir, did you feel that I was either
Yes, you were being
getting-
that. You were being that. In fact, my colleague specifically mentioned you that the sense of superiority and then that kind of things. I mean, one is the information, but information is fine. But then there were biases which were bordering reflection, but board members won't mind that.
So I do not actually want to give that impression. I
board
felt
members-
that while even while
Unfortunately,
speaking,
boards too also have similar biases. So, though yes, I've been advising everybody that to appear sensitive, and it makes sense to, if you are not coming from that class, especially in that case, this sensitivity should appear even more. The moment you said that not having that cultural capital actually make them inferior. In a sense, you were saying that. You're
Yes,
correct? It is not the most sensitive way of putting it. It's better to put it on structure rather than blaming the person for whatever reason, even if that reason you're saying is coming from structure. So you can say that structure should have been more sensitive to them, more representation should be given.
yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
Got
sir.
it?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.